Okay, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a handy dandy vlog and map tour of Morro Bay, and it's going to be very exciting. And our hope with these videos is that for those of you that are out there, the viewers watching this, is that we give you really detailed information about all the cities that we're touring through. So for the casual viewer, probably going to be kind of like long and like, you know, in the weeds type videos here. But if you're serious about moving to Morro Bay, then this may be one of the most detailed videos that's maybe ever even been put out.
In depth and on a skateboard. Definitely the only one on a skateboard.
That's true. Not a lot of skateboarding realtors out there, and this tour will be by skateboard. So anyway, so the layout for this video, the plan is that we're going to kind of give you an introduction, show you the town on a map, and then after that we're going to go and do a vlog tour in person. So you can kind of get a lay of the land on the map, and then we'll actually be, well, I will be in person in Morro Bay showing you around.
No skateboarding.
No skateboarding.
No I'm out. Yeah. No big sisters on a skateboard.
So without further ado, please do like and subscribe, leave us a comment, give us recommendations. Like, we're pretty granular with these videos, but what else do you want to know? Help us improve, and let's get on with it. So, Morro Bay, let's just click here and give you a little outline. So again, a pretty small town. I think Morro Bay is what, something around like 10,000? A little bit smaller than Los Osos, I believe.
Talking about the population here, little brother?
Yeah, population around, right around.
Like 10,000 square feet.
10,000 square foot
10,
town, yeah.
Definitely not $10,000. But we'll talk about prices later.
So super famous. When most people think of Morro Bay, they probably just think of like the rock, right? The Morro Rock and the Embarcadero right down here. But we want to kind of get into more of the details about the neighborhoods here. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, I think people also think about coming here for a weekend or retiring here. The age in Morro Bay for the demographic is a little higher than most areas around here. And then they also think about fishing. It's a fisherman's village, and
that's right.
You can get some amazing seafood at the restaurants.
That's right. Fishing, tourism, surfing,
paddling,
yeah, boating,
flying a kite. Running around with
the kite flying is amazing.
Running around on the dog beach.
Okay, so before we get too silly and get too far out of control here, let's just talk about the route that we're going to take and the neighborhoods that we're going to visit. So the tour is going to start just north of the Embarcadero here. What do you call this area here? Up by Giovanni's? Oh no, up by Tognazzini's actually is where we're going to start. We're going to start right up here. Yeah, so the marina and the wharf, and then we're gonna roll down through the Embarcadero and then get into the neighborhoods.
That's where you find most of the restaurants and little shops.
Yep.
Shell Shack, the famous Shell Shack, where you can buy shells and jewelry and whatnot.
Midsummer on a weekend, just don't drive down the Embarcadero. It's just packed with people.
Just drive near it and find a place to park and then walk.
Okay, so then the first neighborhood we're going to explore, Morro Heights. Okay, now it's a pretty big area and lots of variety in home styles, lots of variety in price points.
Some of the highest price points.
That's right, the highest. But then, so yeah. Anyway, wide variety. So there's really beautiful south-facing view homes down here, and then as you get closer towards Highway 1 over here, some smaller homes kind of right on the roads, right on the highway. And kind of close to the down, you know, the shopping center over here.
And it's sandwiched in between the downtown and the bay and the golf course.
That's right. Here's your big golf course and state park. Anyway, we are going to tour down Main Street, and then we're going to stop off at this Eagle Rock, right? So how many folks, everybody's heard of Morro Rock, right? But how about, you ever been to Eagle Rock?
I have never been to Eagle Rock.
Never been to Eagle Rock, right? Just kind of a funny little spot there we'll pop into real quick. And then from there, we're going to drop down and then head over to Bradley Avenue, over to Kern Ridgeway, and come up over to the Black Hill Trail.
Lots of great hiking in Morro Bay.
Yeah, so you got to see the Black Hill. It's just a famous landmark, a little bit less known again than Morro Rock, but one of the 9 sisters. Mm-hmm. And you could almost drive all the way to the top.
Almost.
Yeah. So, beautiful area over here. We'll tour on through, and then we're going to drop down. We'll take one of these roads down here, Anchor, Kern. Probably end up dropping down Ridgeway to Kern, and then heading over towards, what's the name of the? Quintana. This is just kind of like the commerce area of Morro Bay, right? If you want, I just popped over the UPS store. What was that? UPS store, Albertsons. There it is right there. Dollar Tree. There's a fitness center.
Industrial stuff, yeah.
So we'll drop down there and then head on out. So we should mention this little neighborhood here. I'm not going to stop by this neighborhood. This is Harbor.
There's a few.
Harbor Tract.
There's a few that run up the hill on the other side of the highway, though. So we could go on and on. We should probably just do another video about east of view homes and neighborhoods in Morro Bay, because they're too many to pack in one video.
I don't think that these are really view homes though.
Yeah,
over here, are they?
up on
views up there?
Up on the top on Berwick and Hillcrest. Yeah.
Okay, you know better than me. Okay,
I'm glad you know that.
Yeah. So from there's a whole other part of Morro Bay that we're going to have to roll on up to, and that is really North Morro Bay, and then there's the beach tract, and there's this newer development here. Newer?
Yeah, well, new to us.
Kind of dating ourselves right here.
Kids.
We're old people at this point, nearing 50 years old. Nearing 50, and Heather, I mean, she's
Don't
just
even
ancient.
talk about it.
Yeah. So there's another newish neighborhood called Cloisters here.
Beautiful neighborhood, and it's just right down pretty much at sea level, and you're looking at around $2 million for a home in the Cloisters, and it's a development, so it has that uniform feel, and all the homes are gorgeous and upscale and single level, and so the size of the homes is going to be somewhere in the 2000s, typically like 2200, 2700. And the year built of these homes, I think they started right around in the year 2000, so early 2000s for the year built.
Cool. Nice little park in there, right across the highway from Taco Temple.
Taco Temple is pretty great.
And then north of Cloisters, we're going to run right into a little bit of an older neighborhood here, the beach tract.
Yeah, and then across the highway you see more of those view homes. We should do another one about the view homes and the restaurants, because we don't have too much time to talk about restaurants in this vlog, do we?
Yeah, so I am going to roll up here, and I'll talk a little bit about these. I'll go up to like Panorama.
Okay.
But yes, we'll cruise right up, all the way up, where's that, Beachcomber Street. You know, try to poke around in here a little bit, make it all the way up to Morro Strand State Beach. And then the very far north of Morro Bay ends at, what is it, Yerba Buena?
Yeah, and this whole section of Morro Bay is the older section, so you're going to see a lot of ranch-style homes that were built in like the mid-century, like the 50s, the 60s, but sometimes the 80s. And people that live in Beach Tract love Beach Tract. It's just pretty laid back, and you just walk right down to the beach from any of these homes. No highway to cross, no traffic to speak of, and gorgeous sunset views just like the Cloisters, with a much lower price point, typically under $1 million still for most of these, since a lot of them are smaller, but you could definitely pay into the mid, like even up to 1.5 for something nice in Beach Tract.
And then these ones that are right on the water right here.
Oh, definitely
right
higher, right on the water, yeah.
Yeah. So, not huge. It's like a long, thin neighborhood, right? Just like me. Tall and thin.
Laid back. What are all the other things?
So anyway, the furthest north we're going to go is, I was saying, Yerba Buena here. Zanzibar you can actually get up to, but it's kind of the border, I would say, here, Yerba Buena. And then we'll tour on up into here, roll down Panorama. Quite a bit of different kind of like pricing in here.
Yeah.
And then there's a little bit of a natural barrier between the north and the south of North Morro Bay. Del Mar Park and Del Mar Elementary School here. And yeah, so then some more beautiful view homes. I'm imagining by this time running around on my skateboard, I'm probably not going to want to go up another big hill here.
Yeah, this is all pretty hilly, and so what you're seeing out in these outer boundaries around the neighborhoods is going to be hillside. It runs up into the mountains. It's all open space. If you go north of these neighborhoods in Morro Bay, you're going to run into Cayucas, and then you're also going to see Toro Creek Road. Toro Creek Road and Highway 41 both run all the way into Atascadero. And that's where you'll see most of your ranch properties, your rural Morro Bay properties are going to be pretty much in between Morro Bay and Atascadero.
And let's honorable mention here, Halfway Station. It's probably actually Atascadero.
Yes.
But cool little out-of-the-way restaurant here. If you do want to come and check out this area, you can stop there, grab some lunch, maybe some live music.
It's still a Morro Bay fixture because it's the halfway station between Atascadero and Morro Bay.
Okay, and so then we are going to wrap up our tour back where we started. We'll just kind of roll back through here and end up back over somewhere over here in the Morro Rock area. And that will do it.
And don't forget, if you are moving to this area, to click the link for our free relocation guide. It's in the description below. Lots of great information for you. Some on Morro Bay and all the cities and towns in San Luis Obispo County.
Great to have all these videos and everything, all this information, but having something you can actually print out and look at too and carry around with you. It's just something, you know, it's nice. Anyway, let's move on to the vlog tour. We're done with this for now, unless there's anything else finally you wanted to add.
All good.
All right, thanks for joining us.
Thanks, bro.
We'll see you on my skateboard in Morro Bay.
Thanks for watching.
All right, so Morro Bay. It is going to be a beautiful day today. Right down on the harbor here, and light offshore breeze blowing. Water's nice and calm. Got some otters over here. Not quite sure if you can see them or not, but hanging out. Just doing some feeding in the morning, maybe taking care of some pups. I believe this area is actually a breeding ground for sea otters. Anyways, we're gonna do this tour today by skateboard. Morro Bay is not a huge place. We should be able to get around pretty quickly. We are, of course, within shooting distance of the Morro Rock there, but we want to go to some of the more lesser known areas today. So I bet you haven't heard of Eagle Rock. It is looking outstanding out today. Look at that nice flat water here in the harbor. Of course, the harbor is one of the features that makes Morro Bay so famous, and you know, compared to a town like Los Osos, you know, Los Osos has the bay, but it doesn't have, you know, this access, this easy access. Right around this corner here is where you get out into the ocean, right out into the open ocean. So really good access for fishermen. There's the big stacks right there in the distance, and the Great American Fish Company, and all the shops down here to the south as well. Sun's just starting to peek over the hills there. Anyway, we're gonna head over to Morro Heights, but we gotta roll through town first. So anyway, let's get going. So it's early in the morning on a weekday in wintertime, and I am rolling down the middle of the road on the Embarcadero. Summertime, midday. This place is packed, but you know, it's a beautiful, chill spot to come down to in the morning if you want to go for a walk. And the morning commute is not looking too bad as usual. Just passed by the Sandpiper Inn there. Got some apartments on either side of us. There's the harbor and the ocean, rock in the distance. Morro Bay's pretty chill. So just came up Olive off of Main onto Cerrito, and here's this kind of lesser known little landmark here in Morro Bay. Like I said, everybody knows about Morro Rock, but how about Eagle Rock? Nice little hiking area in between the multi-million-dollar homes here. I do believe that this one over here on Cerrito, I think it's got a big termite tent on it right now. Not sure if that's it actually or not, but 361 Cerrito. If you're interested to know kind of the pricing, kind of the top end of Morro Bay, just closed for a little over 3.5 million. Anyway, really neat little spot up here. Pop up here and show you the view from the top and maybe be able to get a little bit of a sneak peek about where we're headed next. Kind of a cool little spot tucked away in here. Not the most tremendous views because you're kind of blocked in by all these tall eucalyptus trees. But you can kind of work your way up to the top of this kind of granite lake rock here and have a look at the bay. There's Eagle Rock for you. It's not every home in Morro Bay. It's an incredible hillside home like these ones up here with these amazing views of the bay and the ocean. In fact, I think you could still get into like a condo for in the fours if you're not, worried about a little bit of road noise and busyness. You can still be super close to the ocean. Probably under 1,000 square feet if you're talking about a price point that low. But this part of Morro Bay here, this is where you're going to be if you want to spend a little bit of money. So I'm going to skip this kind of key section of Morro Bay here. The state campground, the golf course, bay access. This main street heads all the way down towards South Bay Boulevard here. And really good coastal access. Beautiful spot. But it would be way out of the way for me and my trusty skateboard. We are a little bit away from the water, probably a mile, even less actually. But that does make a difference, if you are right on the water with these homes. Of course, it would be percentage points even more expensive. But we did just close on a home right up here for right around 2 million, just a little over 2 million. And it's going to be going through an extensive remodel. So to get a home on Bradley or one of these streets up here with, an unobstructed, beautiful view, you are looking at a relatively hefty price point. But wow, for good reason, right? It's not like, well, how do you justify that, right? It's pretty obvious. So here's 255 Bradley, which is also another beautiful, beautiful home with the garage out front and then the house kind of privately set behind it with a cool courtyard. And then here's the one that we recently closed on, 265 Bradley. And of course, if you're looking for something a little bit more modest, smaller, not quite so expensive, you can find that too. A little home with no view, small square footage. Hard to say exactly what something like this would go for here, but get you out of that $2 million realm at least, right? A little tiny bungalow, classic Morro Bay type place, but in a really, really nice location, killer neighborhood, great neighbors. Anyway, off to Black Hill, and by the way, it is warm out. I was expecting it to be quite a bit cooler. Got a undershirt, long sleeve shirt, and sweater on right now, and I'll tell you, that was a mistake. It's early in the morning, but warm out. So here we are on Kings Avenue, and amazing access to the golf course right at the end of the road here. Not sure what hole we're on here, but great golf course. Neighborhoody on one side over here, and the other side right into a state park. I mean, it's not exactly Pebble Beach, but it's a pretty phenomenal spot. And then King here, you're much further from the water. Still close though, get nice views from a lot of these homes, and more affordable than down lower. Still Morro Heights, but see this kind of square one. What's the address? 340 Kings, I think. Over 2,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 3 baths, I think, and sold for in the 1.2s, I think. So, you know, not totally inaccessible. Still want to get an ocean view from the upper floor up there, and nice neighborhood. Yeah, not quite as kind of that luxury feel as down below, but still beautiful. Great access to Black Hill just around the corner. I'm about to head up. Okay, so just like maybe an hour and a half ago, started right down here by the rock. Made it all the way through the Morro Heights neighborhood over by the golf course and ended up here. And then down below us there's Highway 1 heading towards San Luis Obispo, and then South Bay Boulevard over towards Los Osos. There you can see Montana de Oro. I don't know if you can see or not, that kind of like break off the point out there. The waves break much further out there. That wild point out there. Spooner's Cove and Hazards Canyon. Anyway, totally worthwhile coming up here if you have the time and the means. And yeah, it kind of gives you an idea. It's like, it's not huge, right? Morro Bay is a small town. I think even a little bit smaller than Los Osos as far as population goes. Yeah, having a great time. I'm gonna head to the Cloisters neighborhood, the beach tract, and then just north Morro Bay. And that's gonna be it. So it'll be interesting to see how long it takes solely on a skateboard and by foot to get around. Yeah, pretty clear though. It's not a big city. It is a city, not like Los Osos is that unincorporated community. Morro Bay is its own city, its own rules and restrictions and all those things. So any specific questions about building codes and stuff like that, we go to the Morro Bay city versus going to the county like you would in Los Osos. Anyway, outstanding. Hollister Peak in the distance out there. Cabrillo Peaks on the other side. Some really good rock climbing, mountain biking right over there. And then if you're into bird watching, holy mackerel, the estuary is a great place to see some waterfowl. And then if you want to see, I don't know, it's kind of specific, but over here in the Cabrillo Peaks area, really fun to watch the sun go down and see the black-shouldered kites hunting at the same time. And look at that outstanding view of Los Osos there. Anyway, we're off. Enough up here on Black Hill, and let's get back to the neighborhoods. All right, we're going to cover some ground somewhat quickly here on Kern Avenue, and we're just going to, see a little bit more affordable type real estate, a little bit closer to the main roads down here, and Quintana Avenue, where you'll see, Albertsons, a little shopping center. Maybe stop at Dolly's Donuts, get a donut. So a little bit of a busier kind of a throughway here that folks are gonna get around on, but still not so busy that I can't get around my skateboard. And I'll give you a quick buzz by some of these properties here relatively safely. Still can get some good views of the bay and the rock up here. Seeing folks parked on the street. Not such big, nice garages and large properties to park on yourself. Fresno Street. Just pop down to avoid some steepness. Classic Morro Bay bungalow right there. Nice little tiny, less than 1,000 square foot studio there. Larger corner lot. Right on into Pacific Street here. So we're right on Quintana now. Gonna grab myself a little snack. Usually I'm quite a bit more healthy than donuts for breakfast, but I skipped breakfast this morning to get out here, so man, I'm putting out some real calories getting going here on this tour for you. Anyway, so Quintana, good little connector road from Main Street over towards Morro Bay Boulevard. So yeah, so like your AutoZone, dollar store, Fitness Works, Dollar Tree, and then your donut shop, Round Table Pizza over there, and Albertsons, all the stuff. It's all right here. So I couldn't film what I just experienced, and it was just kind of a neat little example of small town. Quintana kind of is a busier, connector road, and I was able to just kind of hop on my skateboard and eat a donut and drink my milk and just cruise right down. Felt totally safe, Yeah, here I am getting through the kind of the more major part of town here, connecting over towards North Morro Bay. No problem by skateboard. Heading over towards Morro Road, Morro Strand, and the high school here. Anyway, just kind of neat to know that even on one of the main roads through town, you could still just kind of cruise around on a skateboard and not feel like people are just going to run you down, Small town vibes. So just popped off the bike and skateboard path there and ran right into the Cloisters neighborhood. So this is right on the beach, and it's a tract, planned building tract, sidewalks, newer homes. I think everything built in the 2000s or newer. Some road and sidewalk work going on here. I don't know if maybe they had some like flooding issues last year with those big rains or something, but anyway, cool neighborhood, very cool. Small, kind of just a couple of blocks of newer homes built out here. And so yeah, not gonna spend a whole heck of a lot of time here. We'll pass through the Cloisters Park here and then one more little block of homes and then head on up to the older beach tract. Super nice for this neighborhood to have this little community park here. Drinking fountains, bathrooms, swing set, all the things that those little kiddos like to do, and then just big old grassy open space. And then, unlike many other community parks, you can just pop right over the hill here and be right on an amazing beach. So that's kind of a nice feature also. So this path here is mostly new to me, so I'm just a little out of my element. It's really cool. It's really nice. Can't really give a whole lot of insight into this part of this neighborhood except for like, wow, it's cool. Really nice section of paved trail to have for biking or running or out with a stroller. Super friendly. And then yeah, look at this beautiful homes right on the water here. So here's Indigo Circle access. So let's go see what this is all about. So really nice again. More modest type homes than you might expect, kind of in a beachfront neighborhood like this. But yeah, so that's nice because it keeps it just a little bit more affordable. And yeah, Cloisters. There you have it. Pretty simple. So just entered the beach tract neighborhood. And I have a complaint. That's such a standard name, beach tract. Such a cool spot. Need a new name for beach tract. But anyway, what's in a name, right? So older neighborhood, and And the cloisters just north. And even better access, actually, to the beach with some of these homes. Just running right up to the sand. So anyway, more kind of like bungalow-y style, you know, more really, really mature type landscaping, that larger succulents that you might see. And yeah, great beach access, of course. Just landing on Beachcomber Avenue here. Just gonna head right up Beachcomber here and end up at the State Beach. So anyway, we'll just kind of tour around through here. Kind of speaks for itself. This side of Beachcomber, you're right on the water, so of course you're gonna have ocean views and insane access right to the water. And on the other side, no views, and not quite as good as of access to the water. So this very north part of Beachcomber, no homes on the water side of the beach. It's where the State Beach starts. Campground facility right below us. So these folks on the other side of the road get the killer views and nice beach access here. And great camping spot. Got to get reservations way in advance. But beautiful, 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 beautiful spot. Anyway, amazing real estate here. Houses built back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. And there's one really special section of real estate up here at the end, Toro Lane. If you're looking for property more in that, like, you know, $3 million range. But anyway, we're nearing kind of the northern border of Morro Bay here. And yeah, so this is beach tracked. That hillside there, fun fact right there, this is a launching zone for parasailers and hang gliders and the like. So you'll see them fly down, land on the beach down here. Kind of fun. Morro Rock in the distance there. We've come a long way. Well, days like this make me wish I was a surfer. Just an awesome day out here, offshore, breeze blowing. A little hard to tell with this wide angle lens, but just phenomenal kind of moderately sized waves out here for these folks out here enjoying the surf. Just on the other side of this point right here is the Toro Creek Dog Beach. Go walking all the time out there. So made it all the way up Yerba Buena, the northernmost border of Morro Bay. Now just rolling down Panorama, kind of the eastern border here. And as far as real estate pricing goes around here, varies wildly. You know, you could get into a little, you know, 2-bedroom, 1-bath fixer, maybe something like this here, for you know, as low as in the 600s. Roads are a bit rough here, but that's rare. I mean, look at these are like little duplex type places here, so you know, maybe even be able to get down into like the 5s for a little, you know, studio, something like this. But then you could easily run up into the $2 million range. You know, just if I kind of kept on following up Panorama there and headed up into those hills where the, you know, larger square footage view homes are. You know, they're not going to run up to as expensive as what's over on the other side of Highway 1 there. I just crossed Highway 1 a minute ago and came over here Can't hear the ocean anymore, right? So you don't have that proximity, easy access to walk right down to the beach. You can, of course, still walk down the beach, or you just have to go down to the crosswalk, press the button where the stoplight is, and run across. So prices, like I say, it varies. It depends. You know, can you see the ocean? Is it a peekaboo view, or is it a panoramic view from up on the hills? What's the square footage? What's the lot size? Is it updated? So, yes, this is kind of like a tract area, but not quite as simple as comping and, you know, like a regular city tract would be. Anyway, beautiful day here in Morro Bay. I'm going to roll down Tide Street here. Need to find a road that's nice and smooth so I can make some time again, get back towards town. Pretty chill vibe. No stop signs. All these four-way intersections. Nice curb appeal. Passing by Panay again here. We were just over there on the other side of Highway 1. Anyway, great little homes. Great little properties here. Certainly nothing negative to say. If I could get these pebbles and sections of dirt cleaned up, that would help my skateboarding experience. I have to talk to the city about that. But otherwise, super neat, right? Looking for relatively affordable, almost beachfront living. You can watch the parasailers take off from right in your backyard. Here you go. South of Del Mar Park now. Still in North Morro Bay neighborhood. This is the corner of San Joaquin and Cedar. Have an actual stop sign now. Character changes a little bit as you get closer to town. Of course, no sidewalks. But again, just a mix, you know? Mix of two-story, larger square footage homes, and little tiny bungalows. So characters change a little bit, but it's a little bit more difficult to describe. Maybe just feels like closer to town with the stop signs and so forth. A little more commerce happening out on the main drag. But yeah, about does it there for North Morro Bay. There's a lot more to see here. This is a pretty big area actually, but that gives you a pretty good taste there. They do have their own little kind of zone out here for groceries and whatnot. Spencer's Market, a couple of restaurants. In fact, here's Spencer's right there. Spot to grab some groceries. Taco Temple. Anyway, does it for North Morro Bay. Little fun fact here. I'm at the very west end of Morro Road right now, which runs right into Atascadero, my hometown where I live now. And Highway 41 Morro Road, if you follow it, runs all the way to Yosemite Valley. So check that on the map. It's 4 hours, but it is like this iconic kind of destination, Morro Rock right here. As we come around the corner, take this road, stay on it, and you'll just drive right into, eventually, right into the gates of Yosemite National Park. Anyway, fun fact for you there. All right, well, I made it back to where I started. Just here on, really it's right by the rock here, the Morro Strand, right by Morro Rock. And I can't believe it. It was only about 3 hours to do a pretty in-depth tour of Morro Bay. Makes me feel like I could have gone into more detail even about each of the neighborhoods, but I'll tell you what, my legs are tired actually. So it's probably good that it went that quickly. But yeah, beautiful place. Great example of how kind of small Morro Bay is, able to cover most of it so quickly like this. And just super friendly vibe, had no problems, feeling like I was gonna get run over by a car or anything, minimal traffic, covering so much territory. And yeah, what a great place to start and finish a vlog tour. And next one should be Cayucas, and then heading to San Luis Obispo proper, the city of San Luis. So continuing on our whirlwind tour of the county. Thank you for joining us. Leave us a comment. How about what's your favorite donut? And what's your go-to with a donut? Coffee or milk? Let me know in the comments and I'll know you watched all the way to the end, and I'll see you in the next one.